You know he's never going to change. Accused and labeled as someone who's being too Americanized. I find that to be so hypocritical because the only way I need to be free is to be divorced.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Kazouza Hamra. I'm your host Nora. Today's conversation is one so many women will recognize even if they've never said it out loud. My guest today is a woman who has been courageously documenting one of the hardest chapters of her life, divorce. Not from a place of bitterness, but from a place of reflection, growth, and responsibility. She's not here today to center her ex-husband. She's here to center herself. We talk about what it means to be an Arab woman navigating marriage in a Western world, the tension between tradition and Americanization, the quiet sacrifices women make in the name of love, and the lessons that come when we realize we should have never abandoned our own independence. This is a conversation about identity, financial autonomy, cultural expectations, and the wisdom that only comes after a lived experience. If you're an Arab woman, a daughter, a wife, or someone quietly questioning the life you're living, then this episode's for you. Join me in welcoming Amal. Hi, Habibti, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How do you feel about today? You excited?
I'm so excited. This is awesome.
I'm also excited, and I can't wait to get into everything we have here today.
Me too.
So this is pretty much a laid-back vibe, nothing too serious. We're here to just really kind of have important conversations to help better our community. Mm-hmm. So I have a first question for you. Mm-hmm. Tell us about who you were outside the marriage, right? Where you grew up, what life was like as a third culture kid.
I was born and raised here in America, in New York, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Where in New York?
Mostly Staten Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see the accent now.
Yeah.
Staten Island.
Mostly Staten Island. I did spend 3 years in Deir Debouane, Palestine, though. So.
Okay. So you have to tell me about that. Wait, how old were you when that happened?
It was between 8 and 10. So in the year 2000, we came back here, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm one of 8.
Wow.
Kids, so I have a big family. I have 3 older sisters, 3 younger brothers, and 1 younger sister. So I'm the middle.
Mashallah, that is a full house for sure.
It is a lot of siblings, a lot of family. It's a lot. So, but yeah, I was born and raised here most.
And now you're in Jersey full time.
Jersey for full time.
Don't you just love Jersey more than New York?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know which one.
By the way,
pick your battles.
I love the tri-state area, generally speaking, but I love Jersey. I know where
I would rather Jersey than New York.
We're
for
like
sure.
the armpit of the United States, but it's okay.
We are, but you get used to it. There's
right. So now, growing up, right, what was it like for you? You're American, you're raised here. And by the way, for those at home, third culture kids typically are first generation. She's first generation because you're raised here. And then third culture is you're taking a culture from back home, but you're also learning about the culture here. You're assimilating, and it kind of becomes its own thing where you're not really Arab enough, but you're also not American enough, and you're somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. So tell me more about when you were younger. What was that experience like for you growing up? Did you ever feel like I'm the outsider or I'm like the American?
I did. No, not too American though. Like I felt like growing up, my parents were a little bit more, cultural. They wanted to instill culture and religion, and right. They were pretty strict. I would say okay. They were strict. Yeah. So I would say growing up here, there is a fine line between distinguishing your cultural values and like what your friends are doing, like in school. Mm-hmm. So that part, I understood, because my parents kind of instilled it in us, religion and culture and what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. So there is like such a fine line because my parents were raised there. Right. But being here around all of these other kids in public school, it's kind of like a totally different world. So
absolutely.
I would say that it's now that I'm older and going through what I have gone through, I could see where that like black line kind of couldn't cross within each other.
I'm sure for them, they're coming here and it's important to hang on to their roots, especially they're Palestinian, right? Mm-hmm. So that's like really, really important. I mean, even though now we're all Palestinian. Yeah. But I'm sure that's very important for parents. And I can speak for myself. Like I was born in Syria. Yeah. I came here when I was 5 or 6. But growing up here, it was like just weird for me. It was like weird times. Mm-hmm. Because yes, at home, also a very strict family. I'm also the first child. I literally wasn't allowed to do a single thing. I'm like, Mom, can I be a cheerleader? Please let me be a cheerleader. She was cheerleader, yani short skirt. I'm like, can I play basketball?
Yeah.
I was like, can I play basketball?
Yeah.
She's like, that's for boys. You will not play. So the only thing I was allowed to do was play the violin.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I played.
It's funny because my daughter really wants to be a cheerleader, but she's playing the violin right now.
Oh, how funny is that?
It is funny.
Yeah, I was allowed to play the violin, and that's pretty much all I was allowed to do. But then my brother and my sister got to do everything. Like my sister was an athlete. She played soccer, she played softball.
Yeah.
She also was a cheerleader. So she got to and play basketball.
Yeah.
She literally was an athlete.
Because I think with time, our parents kind of started to adapt. Like
Right.
they're here now, so they see that we're being raised in a completely different community than they were.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of adapt with time. That's the point, you know?
Well, I think assimilation is important, especially when you pick up your kids and you bring them into a completely, like, listen, the Western culture is completely different than Eastern culture.
Completely different.
Completely different. Like there has to be some sort of expectations where you know they're going to be exposed to things, right? So there needs to be a balance. Like let's say, for example, with my kids, my daughter knows, like, hey, you're going to go to school, you're going to see X, Y, and Z, but we just don't do that. But I'm not going to, like, hide her and, like, put her in a closet because I don't want her to see what's going on out there. Like,
which is
habibti, you're going to see it, but this is what's important to us.
It's funny you say that because I try to make that a point because right now given my situation and I think the biggest thing right now that we're going through is a custody issue. So I would say that it's so difficult to do that because he is trying to protect her as much as he can by keeping her only with the Arab Muslim community.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to instill that you can be around other people,
right?
But still, as long as I give you your values and help you understand culturally what's acceptable and what's not, I kind of want her to be around other people too.
Yeah.
So there's, like I said, there's
because
such
you're
a
going to
fine
get that
line.
exposure.
Yeah.
I have a friend. Her name is Nadia. She has 5 beautiful kids.
Mashallah.
And I remember she used to, like, be in the car with them, like jamming to, like, American music. And she's raised here, but now she lives in Jordan. And she'd be with them. They're, like, singing American songs. So I asked them, like, I'm curious, like, how do you balance that, like, for them not to be, like, American, like too American, whatever the heck that means. She's like, no, they're gonna see it. It's all about balancing and talking to them through it. But I'm not gonna ban them from, like, listening to a popular song because it's haram or whatever.
Right.
Which I like that logic. And I also have another friend who did the same thing. Like, she's like, I'm not going to turn off the TV because, oh my God, like there's like a boy and a girl together. But rather you walk them through it and tell them, this is what you're going to see. This is what's going to happen. But it's important why you maintain that. Now, this isn't to say kids aren't going to make mistakes.
Right.
Like, obviously kids make mistakes.
They will.
But that's their journey. Because as parents, I mean, at least this is my personal belief, I have my child advocacy certificate. So part of that training, I had to learn about, like, as a parent and your role really in helping sustain and grow a human being. And part of that, I'll never forget when I opened the first book to read, and the first line was, a parent is someone who really understands that they are the parent, but they also understand that that their child is their own person. Because our children are their own person.
They are.
Right? It's not just like what we want them to be.
Yeah.
We can hope and pray and inshallah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're going to have their own experiences.
They will. And in this life, I mean, they didn't choose to be here. You know what I mean? So it's like, try to make the best of it for your children, try to guide them, but also pay attention to what they want, pay attention to how they want to be involved in the community.
And I would say to that also, just because, like, a parent presents differently than what the other parent expects, doesn't mean they're wrong.
Right.
Because everybody has their own frame of reference. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different situations that happen in our life, and they mold us into this being. Yeah. It's like a pot, you're throwing all these spices, and every experience is a spice, and it produces this final result. So it's like, no one is wrong. It's just that you're seeing things differently. It's a different POV. Everybody has their own frame that we're judging things by.
And it's like what you said, balance.
Yeah,
balance is the healthiest way.
No, absolutely. Balance is key for sure. And, psychology also says the more you tell a person no matter who it is, the more likely it is they're going to do it.
100%. That's the story of my daughter's life. Like, I already know that.
The more you say no, the more they're going to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Marina, moving on, you're raised here. You go to college. Did you go to college?
I did, yeah.
Okay. What did you major in?
I had my bachelor's degree in psychology, and
Nice,
I just
okay.
got my master's degree in counseling. Yeah.
What, girl? We are aligned. That's what I have.
know, yeah.
What college did you go to?
I went to Kane University for my bachelor's,
That's
and I just finished
amazing.
with Felician University, and I was actually the class representative too.
Girl, that's where I'm going right now.
Stop.
Yes, I'm in Felician.
Oh my God.
Counseling psychology.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
really? So
Yes.
do you know Dr. Guillory? And
I heard about them in person. I just
oh,
looked at
okay.
everybody online.
So
That's
she's
so
like my best
funny.
friend now. Yeah, we literally
Oh my
talk all the time.
God, SubhanAllah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm taking the semester off coming up right now.
Okay, you need some
enrolling in
time off.
classes.
Yeah, I get it.
I need a minute. But that's so interesting. So many years ago, I actually completed my master's in counseling psychology.
Okay.
But I had to do a practicum, right? Which obviously we have to do a practicum
Right.
with this one here.
Yeah.
But I never finished it because I didn't know that the university I was attending had to have relationships with the places that you have to like complete your practicum.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when it came time for me to actually locate like a facility,
Yeah.
everyone was like, well, these universities like Rutgers, Montclair, William-Patterson, they get
Okay.
first dibs on the internships versus
Yes,
somebody from
I
like,
know.
this random online university.
Yeah.
Then they offered me to go to Trenton, like the college I was going, like
Okay.
I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And I was like, where I live and where Trenton is, that means I would drive there 2 hours a day, drive back 2 hours. And so I said, it's not worth it. I never did it. So now I'm redoing it again,
Yeah.
hoping that I can,
I got so lucky with my practicum. I got so lucky. I ended up finding, because it is right in the start of my separation.
Yeah.
And everything is unpaid, right?
Right.
And of course, like I'm going through a lot of financial like strain right now. So I got so lucky. I did not give up, and I found a site at Passaic Community College where it is grant funded. So I wasn't getting paid through an internship, but it was grant funded. So I still was technically getting paid and getting my hours at the same time.
That's freaking amazing.
I got so lucky.
Mashallah.
Like a lot of good things
You
happen.
can actually start seeing clients online.
No, I still have to get, even though I have my counseling degree, I still have to get my certificate.
The LPC.
And my LPC. And I had rescheduled the exam twice now because going through this whole divorce, I'm pro se. I'm my own lawyer, basically.
Yeah.
And I can't focus on studying and doing that. So inshallah, when this whole thing blows over, I can focus back on my studies, get my certificate, because ironically, inshallah, one day I do want to do couples counseling.
That's amazing.
So it's actually quite funny.
There's no wrong.
But that's what I want to do.
I know, like, right now you're going through something hard, but I promise
Yeah.
you, inshallah, like once the dust settles,
Yeah.
you and him could potentially be best friends, and you'll be great co-parents.
Inshallah,
You never know. It's just that-
inshallah, I make dua all the time, and I swear I used to tell him this all the time too. But like, don't worry, we'll be best friends one day, inshallah. I'm just speaking it into
Well, you know what they
existence.
say when, like, let's say, for example, the difference between a criminal lawyer, right, a criminal defense lawyer versus a divorce lawyer, is a criminal lawyer sees the worst people at their best, and then a divorce lawyer sees the best people at their worst.
Yeah,
Because
I would
it
say
rough
this is
time,
probably the
yeah.
worst time between the both of us. Not even just
Divorce definitely isn't fun.
It's
but
not.
so walk me through that. You get married, and we don't have to focus on him.
Yeah.
Feel for, like if you are uncomfortable, like
Sure.
totally don't have to share. But you get married. What is that feeling like for you? I mean, were you guys dating? Like, did you guys know each other? Was it an arranged marriage?
No. We met and we were dating. Our parents did know, and we were in love. I would say that I was absolutely in love. I was in bliss when I loved planning my wedding and our wedding. I loved everything about him. So it's not something. A divorce is not something that you see coming, or it's not an intention you want ever. And no, I would say that we met and we were happy and we were in love, and
And then first, for how long were you guys married for? I know you're still married today, but
we're still married today. But I would say until we separated, 8 years, and we've been separated for 2 years. Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like you guys could have totally worked this out.
No, there was no coming out of it. Things got pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's no coming out of it, I would say.
Yeah, but if you're in it for that long, I mean, it's worth the fight,
Yeah.
Relationships go through phases, especially when kids
Yeah.
get involved. I mean, how many kids do you guys have?
We have 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have 2 kids too. But when kids get involved, I mean, it really, really puts a strain on couples.
Yeah.
And they go through cycles. There's a
Yeah.
cycle of the relationship. And one of them is the ugliest of times.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it, but ultimately it comes after you have kids, because kids, you're lacking sleep.
Oh, for sure. It did
both of you
put
are
a strain
meeting
on
each
us.
other's needs.
I would say I definitely think I had postpartum depression after both of my kids.
I can imagine, absolutely.
It was really hard on me, actually. And I did have 2 miscarriages too. throughout the 8 years, I did. So there was a lot of things, a lot of strain. But, you know, sometimes you just know that there's no coming out of the worst part of each other. I don't think we could have. We really did get the worst part of each other at the end. So I think everything happens for a reason. It just wasn't meant to be. We both wanted different things in life, for sure.
It seems like values changed.
100%. He definitely wanted more kids, a bigger family. He wanted me to keep going. He wanted me to stay home. And I really wanted to get my education, finish. I wanted to get my master's. I wanted to work. I really wanted to work. I don't know. I just wanted some financial independence, you know? So we both just ended up wanting different things. And I think that was the main thing that kind of tore us apart.
Well, I think a lot of marriages, too, especially in our culture, there's just like it's always the woman who has to make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So like even if you do work, you still got to manage.
And it was expected of me too. Yeah. It was like, okay, so you're going to go get your master's right now. I want another kid. And I'm like, I'm not going to pause my master's.
Yeah.
I'm in the program already. I'm class representative. There's like everything was going up in that sense for me. But in my family, in my personal family life, it was going downhill for sure. So
I think it was also like being a mom. I mean, listen, I'm a mom too. Like, I totally get it. You feel like there's a sense you lose yourself, but then you're also gaining this new version of yourself. If that makes any sense.
I felt like I didn't know who I was. And that's why I went to go get my master's. I'm like, I don't know who I am anymore. I know I've always wanted to be a counselor. I know I've always wanted to help people. I know I've always wanted to work. So that's what drove me. I'm like, I need to find myself.
Yeah, well, it takes a person with emotional intelligence to understand that.
Yes.
Which, by the way, and that's not to say that your husband doesn't have that, but generally speaking, in our culture, I don't know if it's enough is taught about that. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, are we teaching our sons, listen, when a woman gives birth, this is what she's going to be experiencing.
Right.
She's going to be very depressed. Because they say up to 6 to 8 weeks after postpartum. That's what postpartum is. Yeah. It continues after that. Then you have to like really start getting help. Mm-hmm. But you feel, I know for me, I felt like no one loved me. Like I remember crying by myself. Like I'm like, no one loves me, and my husband loves me, and I'm like, no one loves me. I don't feel loved. You know, no one asks about me.
No,
everyone's
Where's
asking
the village?
About the baby. Everyone's asking.
Oh my God,
no
that's true.
About me.
Yeah.
But it's like subhanAllah, like these thoughts start coming, and then eventually, like after time passes, you start to kind of feel your best again because I mean, your body literally just went through hell.
Yeah.
Right. So we need that support for us to regain that strength.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, I think we need to teach our men how to be more supportive during those times.
Yeah.
It's not just, and maybe it's Beyonce's fault when she says, I have a baby and get back to business. It's very hard to get back to business.
It is. Like, it is. And
really
I think I wouldn't have had that fear of having more children during my master's if I knew I would have the support.
Yeah, and
I was like, no.
The biggest thing is the support.
Yeah, I didn't have the support I needed. I felt like everything was on my shoulders all by myself, and it was never good enough. So I'm going to build something where I feel like it would be good enough for me. No. And that's how we ultimately decided that it's not going to work.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
There's a rule of thumb they say in a marriage, the 7-7-7 rule. You have to take your wife out on a date every 7 days.
Yeah.
Every 7 weeks you take her somewhere overnight. And then every 7 months you take her on vacation.
I've never heard of that, but we did try to do date nights. We did. We were really good. I'm not even going to deny this because like I've always been real on my TikToks too.
Yeah.
We were very good when it was just the two of us. We didn't have the stress, like parenting. I think that's what ended up really also being a strain because he has a very different view on how he wants to parent our kids. And so did I. I'm a little bit more lenient and like, I want them to be who they are and just grow up in that way. Yeah. He's more like, he was more strict in the mindset of they need to be this certain way.
Like being especially more religious, like pushing
religious, cultural, everything. That's a huge damper too in your relationship. If you can't, something you should really consider before you get married, how are you going to parent your children?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's a huge deal. Like I was too passive. I didn't discipline the way he wanted me to discipline. I didn't feed them the way that he wanted me to feed them. And
you always feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I felt like I wasn't good enough in anything I did. I might as well go get a job and maybe just be good at my job. Aww. It was really like a lot of that too, like back and forth. So Just
again,
different
it comes
mindsets.
back to no one is wrong. It's like, these are your expectations. Here are my expectations.
Right.
And where do we meet in the middle to create a win-win solution?
And that's the thing about marriage too. And like, that's why I say I would love to counsel couples. Ironically, even though I'm going through like the worst divorce of my life, of like anybody.
Yeah.
I know what doesn't work. And if you see two people who, like, it doesn't matter who, is completely lacking in accountability and doesn't have the intention to become better for each other, there's nothing left. Like, you just gotta move on.
One of the videos I came across that you posted was you were referencing that you were too Americanized, or you were too American. So what does that mean to you when you're accused or labeled as?
I am being accused and labeled as someone who's being too Americanized. I find that to be so hypocritical, because I am American. You're American too. We all came here for a reason, and we were born and raised here. And the fact that you're trying to say that because I'm following what I was born and raised to believe, that women can work, that women can get an education, that women can be independent to an extent. Like, no one said I wanted to just run the whole show by myself. I wanted a family as well as a career, you know? So I think it's just such a hypocritical mindset. We're all here, aren't we?
Well, we all have our own identity too. Like, again, it comes back to, we're partners, we're a team.
Yeah.
It's not that you're the leader and you're dominating me. It's like, we are a team. I have decisions. I have my viewpoints.
Yeah.
Again, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about, this is how I view things. It's about, listen, we have to do a value checklist. I think you were touching on that earlier. When you first, like, before you even get married.
Yes.
And for those listening, if you guys want to get married, or you're in the process of getting married, definitely do a values checklist. Talk about parenting, 100%. Talk about finances. How do you expect to spend your days?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do in the morning? What time do you wake up? Do you sleep late? Do you stay up late? Do you like musalsalat? Do you like argila? Do you like all these
What
things?
are your bad habits? You know, like
whatever they may be. Or
what are your vices?
Habits? Do you like to work out? Are you a smoker? I don't know. Like,
there's so many
things.
things.
So many things to consider.
There is. But then again, like, you just never know.
Right. Well, there's also that pressure that Arab women are under to constantly, like, get married.
Yes,
like,
that's a big deal too.
I mean, I know for me, very young, I knew the goal was get married, girl. Like, that, you got to get married. That's it. I knew that. I mean, I remember in 9th grade, I used to fantasize about my wedding. I would look through bridal magazines and pick out my wedding dress, pick out my bridesmaid dresses, because there was no groom.
Because that's your only way out. No.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
I've heard this as a criticism against me. You know, oh, she just wants to be divorced because she wants to be free, right?
Right.
But why does it have to be that way? Why do I need to be free? Well, yeah. Why do I need to be free? The only way I need to be free is to be divorced. Like, you know, pay attention to how and some girls experience freedom under their parents' roof, which is great. Like, of course, within an extent, but and then most of us though, like, you got to get married first in order to do this. You have to be married in order to be free.
You touched on something when we're pressured to get married, right?
Yeah. And
we're also coming from a very, very strict household, that marriage becomes the only way out of your parents' house.
Yeah.
Which then you go into, it's like another dictatorship's house, right? It's like one
That's so funny, yes.
But I think that's part of the reason why we end up accepting things that we normally shouldn't be accepting.
Right.
Like abuse, you know, being hit. Because we're like, oh, I mean, yeah, he hit me, but, you know, it could be worse. Like, my dad could be beating the F out of me at home.
Right.
Like, and I'd rather just stay here and get beat by my husband.
Yeah, which abuse would you choose?
Right, and it becomes that when there's like, dude, abuse is just wrong, period.
Right.
Like, no one, not even your dad, should be putting their hands on you, you know?
Yeah.
We have to be able to articulate and educate ourselves in a way that people can understand. It's not through fear, it's not through beatings. Even though sometimes, like, I get militant with my girl to, like, you know, whip her a little bit just to let her know I'm being serious. But ultimately, I want to be able to create an environment where it's safe. Like, even if you make your worst mistake, you're able to come to your mom and your dad.
Yeah. Oh my
and
gosh,
you can say it without having to, like, go tell, I don't know, Bob next door, who's probably going to give you the worst advice.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, it is your parents who are going to help you navigate that. And I want to create that environment.
100%.
So
and that's
sometimes when men
so
or
good
women.
That's so good for as a mom. If your kid is going to come to you, then you know you've succeeded.
Exactly,
you know, if your kid is coming to you with things that, you know, they would never, or they would say, I didn't want to tell you, I was scared, you know, but they did tell you, I mean, you're doing something right.
I know my cousin, I remember she would read her daughter, like she gave her daughter a diary and she would read it. Like she would sneak in and read it. And she was like, the girl was 9 years old. She was like, you believe she already had a crush on someone? So this is how she would learn and try to like adjust without being like the overwhelming parent.
I get it.
But like do it like, oh, so sometimes we have these feelings.
I've been trying so hard to get my daughter to write in a journal because I used to do that when I was young. I used to write in a journal.
She's Generation Alpha probably. I don't think they're not journaling.
She refuses. She looks at me like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, write about your day, write about your feelings. She's like, no, I'll just make a TikTok. I'll make a YouTube.
Yeah.
She'll record herself talking about her day. It is different. See, you have to evolve. These kids are going to evolve too.
Right.
We're in a generation where it's like you've got technology, you've got gadgets, you got social media.
Well, maybe you should encourage her to record and journal her thoughts and feelings in a video, and then you watch the videos and then you course correct without her, like, behind the scenes kind of way.
Yeah, but it's not even for me to be involved. It's for her to process her thoughts. It's for her to process her feelings on her own. That's why I try to get her to do it because, she needs to build that autonomy, emotional autonomy on her own. But, cause that's what I used to do, is to write and then I would read it and it would be like a third person perspective, but it's really me,
No, it makes
and it was
sense,
like, okay,
so I used to journal too, but that was a thing for us. Millennials journaled.
Yeah.
I don't even know Gen Z journals. Like it's not, I don't think it's really a thing anymore. Well, hang on. Laura, let's ask you, do you journal? You're Gen Z, right? Yeah. She's like, I used to, but I tried to. We always have to get your POV too, I
actually did a lot.
We'll see the people in our comments. Like, do you guys journal? Like, does anybody
journal?
Gen
Zers, do you guys journal?
What do you do to express yourself? I don't know. It's like a whole different world.
I recently just watched this video and it was just like about how like millennials versus Gen Z post online versus boomers.
Oh God. Okay.
And it was like, they were doing it with drinks and it's like millennials are about the boomerang. That's how you know we're millennials posting. Funny. We're about the boomerangs.
Yeah, I love that.
Whereas like they'll just post a drink, like Gen Zers will post a drink and they're like out of the office and like that's it. Like
that's so funny. Yeah.
Whereas like here we are, look, I can't wait. We're having fun with my girlfriend.
I love boomerangs.
So it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
But really quickly going back, like in our Arab culture, I have written that in our Arab culture, marriage often comes with unspoken rules, especially for women, obviously, right? What were the rules you learned about like being quote unquote a good wife?
Funny because our parents didn't tell us how to be a good wife. You just kind of observe, right? Okay. So it's like, you just have to be someone who doesn't. This is also what I've learned through my marriage too. It's like, I probably would have stayed married if I listened to any of these. You have to be compliant. You have to be quiet. Okay.
What's the other O word? Obedience.
Be obedient. Yes. I don't know. Don't give your opinion, I guess. I don't know. Just don't have a voice. Don't have your own mindset. It sounds harsh, but this is exactly what would have made my marriage succeed. And don't have an education. Don't go out there and make anything of yourself. You need to just stay home.
Yeah.
Take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of my parents, and you will be the best wife. Okay, that is the recipe.
Even though a wife in Islam has absolutely no obligation to take care of your like family.
Well, the mindset apparently
religion and culture don't make
religion
sense.
And culture have had such a bad rep, like because it should be distinguishable. But that's the thing. People are like, but Muslims are this. And no, it's the culture. If Muslims really followed the religion, I would have been weighted on my feet. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, yeah.
I would have had help with chores and not had any complaints. Okay. Right. I would have, I just would have been a whole different world for me, I think.
What I always say is, alhamdulillah, I feel like I'm very blessed for me to be an American as an Arab American woman, which I'm very proud to be Arab. I'm very proud to be Muslim. I'm very proud of that. But I feel like we have an opportunity now to change that mindset and perspective that it is more cultural, and that culture really is causing havoc on our marriage, and it's breaking us apart.
100%.
Like men are feeling the brunt of it, and so are the women. Because I never want to I don't blame men. Like I think I respect our men. I love our men. Yeah, but I think there's a shift in the culture that we need to take. Yeah, we have to work with each other.
100%. And ever since I started my TikTok, I thought it was just women. Right. Yeah. But so many women and men have been reaching out and saying like they've been going through something similar. Doesn't have to be the same story, but there's just this huge shift in culture and religion.
Which tells us that the shaitan is winning.
Yes.
That's what the shaitan wants. I mean,
Yeah, the
they say
shaitan always
shaitan's like,
wins.
"Whoa,
When there's a
I got
divorce,
another couple, yay.
when there's a divorce, the
divorce.
shaitan had won, and so you could scream at the mountains, but
And
it's
he
always the
whispers in
shaitan.
his ear, he whispers, I'm not getting enough. And he's like, I'm doing too much. He doesn't
Yeah.
appreciate anything. She's selfish.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, look, he doesn't do anything for me. He doesn't do anything for me. So
And
it
I'm not
becomes
saying
this,
I'm
like-
not saying I was innocent. I definitely had some faults in the marriage too, you know, like I would speak on that a lot too, because I you know, it's my first time being married too. Like you
Oh, of course. You don't have to feel guilty about it,
Right?
by the way. It's just
it's the way we approach things. It was our expectations of each other. That's a huge thing. And just khalas, like
in the end,
at
like I
this
said,
point,
no one is right. There's
No
the
one's
truth
right.
always lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that's this person's POV. This is this person's POV.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, after going through this divorce,
Yeah.
a lot of people who did come up to me who have also went to him hear the exact same thing I am saying about him from him about me.
Wow.
Do you get it? Like
Yeah.
they're like, what is happening? He's saying exactly the same thing that you're saying about him. I'm like, I don't know, the
Because
shaitan. What else am I supposed to explain?
We often think that the situation is just privy to us, but when you actually start hearing other people's stories,
Yeah.
we're all experiencing something that's very similar.
Yeah.
The situations might be different, but generally speaking, the man always feels like he's giving everything and he's not getting enough in return. He's not being
Yeah.
respected.
Yeah.
The woman is just not really caring for the household.
Yeah. Or
But I
for
feel like
herself.
or of herself.
Yeah,
So it's
because
just
I
like-
lost
like-
myself in the marriage. I lost myself. I was like 60 pounds heavier. I was so depressed.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gaining a lot of weight because I think it was because I was just so unhappy. And I'm not saying that it was just because of him. I was so unhappy with my life. Like, I'm just like, this isn't for me. Being a stay-at-home mom just was not for me. I needed more. Okay. And like, I just always, something was calling me.
What parts of yourself did you feel slowly shrinking during the marriage?
I didn't know who I was. I couldn't recognize who I was when I would look in the mirror, not just physically,
Yeah.
you know, but like, who am I? Like, even when I was with my friends or I would go out and I wasn't just a stay-at-home mom, like something was always missing. Something always felt missing for me.
Was there a moment when you realized that this version that you're living of your life is no longer sustainable?
Yeah, I just was too negative. I was
okay.
I was unrecognizable in every aspect of my life, mentally, physically. Everything was just too negative. This wasn't who I am. This isn't who I am.
So now you talked about obviously being married. You're a stay-at-home mom. If you don't mind me asking, like, did he give you an allowance? Like, how did the money situation work? Like, that means you're not working. There's no income coming in. So.
Right. So that's the part where I should have recognized the red flags from the beginning. And I have been trying to establish that on my TikToks to not to bash him, but to just warn other girls to like be financially secure. He used to give me like, he would give me an allowance or like a budget for the month. I had no idea what he used to make. I had no idea what his income was. I just knew he just kind of took care of everything. But that was a problem. I shouldn't have done that. I should have saved every single penny. I should have somehow made an income. I should have established boundaries where I did have an income, I guess. Just had some sort of financial security. I was a little bit smart in some things though, that I think is funny to share. In the beginning of our marriage, we were good. Okay. This is how I describe it to everybody. I feel like we had a good half of our first half of our marriage, but the second half of our marriage is where things started to go downhill, fall apart. And, he used to get me gifts and stuff. He used to actually put some thought and effort into gifts, and he would get me flowers and things were great. But then it got to the point where he would get me some things and like expensive things where I was just, I don't know. I never really liked name brand.
Yeah.
I never really liked the material stuff.
Right.
So in my head, subconsciously, I guess this was a gut feeling where I'm glad I kind of honed in on it. I told him, I was like, instead of just getting me all these expensive things, can you just give me the money that you're spending and I'll put it in an envelope? Because what I really, really want at the end of the tunnel, say 10 years, like on our 10-year anniversary, and I swear this is exactly what I said to him, is like, I want a bigger diamond ring. Like I really did. I wanted a big rock. Like I just thought it was just so nice. I don't care about the stupid bags and the shoes, and like I never really cared about that stuff. So, but it's funny because as time went on, and he did do that, he would just give me a nice card, flowers, do everything else, and then give me the money in the card. So he did do that, which was great for Eid, for birthdays. And it's funny because when things started to go south, downhill, I would be like, oh my God. So like at the end of this is either going to be a ring upgrade or this is going to be my insurance. Like this is going to be my safety net. Like this is going to be what holds me over because something is telling me that this person is going to let me suffer financially, which is what happened. Is what's happening now. I was a stay-at-home mom, completely dependent for 8 years. And, we got to the point now where things are really, really ugly and he doesn't want to send any support. So what do I do? On my time, alhamdulillah.
Your little stack. Nice.
Alhamdulillah, I have my salary now that I started working. But imagine I didn't go to get my master's and start working this job that I have now. I really would have been shit out of luck. And so, yes, this came in handy. It was smart of me to do. This is, could have been petty cash. It was ideas, every Eid, I would save it. I would save my money. So like my biggest thing is to try to tell all these girls who are planning to get married, inshallah, that this does not happen to you, but why not? Why not have financial security just in case? Yeah. Just in case. And if you don't, wow, all power to you.
But let's say Muqaddam Akhar, did you guys have that?
Yeah, he got me gold. He did get me gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did get a lot of gold. So, of course, I would have to sell here and there.
You don't want to sell, obviously.
Right. I would hopefully want to pass that down to our children, but I've already had to sell some gold. So, yeah, but it's okay. I guess this is what it's for, right? That's what your insurance policy is supposed to be. But at the end of the day, you never think that it's going to happen to you.
No,
But at the end of the day, it could have been a ring, which is so beautiful, right? My intention was there. But then I'm like, if this doesn't work out, at least I have some cash to sustain me and my children until I finally can get on my feet.
So right now, that's how you're surviving.
Right now, alhamdulillah, with my salary and I mean,
even Islamically, that's not the way he's what it sounds like is happening. That's not Islamically.
I know. I tried going to the sheikh because but what's the sheikh going to do at the end of the day?
You can't force him. Yeah.
You can't force him. And people, the biggest thing right now, the biggest animosity that I'm getting from that side is the fact that I have this in court. Okay, but if I didn't have this in court, who's protecting me to make sure I'm getting child support? Or basic necessities for the kids instead of pulling teeth every time I need something for the children.
Well, that's not a financial abuse. Usually it's they withhold the money. They don't send it on the day they should be sending it.
Right.
That is a sign. That's one of the symptoms of.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, I ignored so many red flags.
And men have that capability in them. They have the ability that when they're pissed off and they're upset, they will definitely try to destroy a woman financially. And that's how they get to women.
That's what's happening to me. But here I am.
Well, inshallah, like I said, inshallah, right now it's just a temporary moment where you guys are getting the worst of each other.
We're getting the worst of each other.
At some point,
inshallah,
you'll be able to at least.
Inshallah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Hopefully,
keep making that.
You may watch this and see, listen. At the end of the day, this is your POV, her POV. But how do you guys create a win-win at the end of the day?
Inshallah, you will interview me again in a year. And I'm in a completely different position, and we can have him join us. That would be so great. That would be awesome.
That
would be funny.
No, but listen, I think it's important that sometimes we do actually have these conversations with exes because you could talk about what you learned, how you are navigating this difficult time, or navigated difficult times, and how you're navigating life now.
Yeah,
because it is the thing is as human beings, that's the ugliness of humans.
I know.
We have to get to this nasty side of I want to hurt you, but at the end of the day,
and it's not just him. We're both there. I started my TikToks. My intention was not to hurt them, but it's to get my truth out, and it's also to warn these other, young women who are about to get married. I understand you probably don't want to work, but I promise you, it's not going to hurt you at the end of the day to just be financially stable for yourself. And if it's not going to be for yourself, think about your daughter. Just think about your daughter.
You better make sure there is a salary coming your way if you are expected to stay home. There has to be.
Oh yes. I wish I did that. I wish it's you know what? You want me to stay home and be with the kids while you build your multi-million-dollar empire? Okay, what am I getting at the end of it? Yeah.
My salary needs to be $100,000, and
yes, establish that. There should be prenups. No. I'm just gonna leave.
Well, I guess my understanding. I mean, listen, I'm Muslim, alhamdulillah, but I don't speak on it from like a sheikh's perspective or a scholar perspective. But I feel like this is why these rules are in place. But, you know, Muslims, we're not perfect at the end of the day. Like, this is the ugliness of human beings.
True.
And we're not perfect. We really aren't.
We really aren't.
So if you can go back, what financial boundaries would you put in place from day one?
Yeah.
I guess we kind of answered that.
We kind of answered that. But just like you said, maybe establishing, actually, I tried. I would be like, you know, maybe if you were just sending me my allowance, that's just mine, rather than just for I literally remember myself saying that. I'd be like, because it'll make me feel like at least I have some kind of income. Maybe that might release some of the tension that I'm feeling, that I feel like I need to go make my own money. Like, can you just do that? And no, I was met with absolutely not. What do you need that for? You know? So it doesn't even matter if I had gone back. I was never the type who actually centered my life around money anyway. Like, I never wanted, like I said, I didn't know what he made. I just saw that he could take care of everything, you know? So that was a big red flag. I shouldn't have done that. I should have been asking more questions and like been more involved to see what he's doing and where all the money is going. And, you know, so.
That's why I think our men are falling short. I think Arab men, if they've really put the focus and attention on uplifting their wife and not just seeing her in a role of like, yes, we're a mother. Yeah. We're mothers, we're homemakers, but we can also be more, right? We can have our own career. We can do something for ourselves. And one of the things I don't mean to cut you off, but like one of the things for Arab men is to understand is when women have kids, we really do lose ourselves. We don't know who we are. 100%. And we have to find this new identity. And it takes time. So like, instead of fighting it, be there to be supportive and uplift us, because by uplifting us, guess what? It's going to work in your favor because we're going to be happier. Mm-hmm. And when we feel happier, and by you uplifting us, we're going to feel loved. And when we feel loved, we're going to respect you more. We're going to do more of the things you're actually looking for without having to take away the love from us. Right. And then just demanding all these things take place.
Yes. And men lead, right? Like they should
like, lead. You gotta get what you want without like directly being aggressive about it.
Yeah. And there are, it does 100%. There would be so many successful marriages if that was the case. And there are people who are in those marriages now, Arabs and Arab men who want their women to work, and like, you know, and like what I'm saying is the people that are reaching out to me is like, what do you mean he doesn't want you to work? I would love for you to work. You know, like I would love for my wife to be the best that she could be and as successful as she could be, because if she's happy, everybody else is happy. You know, like if she feels like she's missing something, we need to figure out what it is that she's missing.
I mean, listen, there's truth in happy wife, happy life. There is some truth to that. Absolutely.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Because I'm making your woman happy. I'm telling you, the whole household is going to be like happy. When the woman's upset, everyone's going to be upset. So that's just the way it is. And it's not our fault. This is why Allah khalaqna. Like, this is how this is literally the way God created us.
So funny.
Not our fault. We're emotional beings. We want to nurture. And by the way, I don't think if somebody wants to stay home, like by all means, do your thing, you know, do you. But for those who do want to work and do have these aspirations to start a business and do whatever they want to do, husbands need to be supportive.
Yeah. And that's what I say, those that do want to stay home and be homemakers, because it is such a beautiful job and you can do it great. Like I told my sister all the time, I'm like, no one could do it like you. Like, I know you're looking at me like, why do you still need a job, or why do you need it? Because I can't do this whole mom thing and wife thing at home 24/7 and feel like I haven't lost myself. It's different. Everybody's different. You can't expect me to want the same things that you want. I want different things. So those that do want to stay home and do want to take care of their family, make sure you're secure. That's all. And if they probably have like really supportive, if they're happy, they probably have really supportive husbands who don't make them feel like they're being criticized.
Right. No, you mentioned other people who are married right now, right?
Yeah.
And like, let's say some women, you mentioned off camera, we were talking earlier about like people judge you, right? Like some women are on there judging you.
Oh yeah.
So why do you think some women look at situations like this and they're like, it will never happen to me? Like, because it definitely can be. Why do you think that is? Like, they can look at you, judge you.
They do.
And then at the end think it can't happen to them.
They judge me so much. And they like, word always gets back to me. It's like, what is she doing? And someone actually told me, a close friend of mine was like, I don't understand why they're all knocking on you for your TikToks. Would they rather you just be at home depressed and crying all day? Like, now that you're a divorced woman, I feel like that's what they would rather you do than make funny TikToks and be happy, or like, I don't know.
Well, I bet you if they found if they found themselves in your shoes, they'll be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, right.
Subconsciously, they're just like,
or if they think
jealous.
that they should be home, but I think it's just naive. Somebody who's really naive, who thinks it's not going to happen to them. Let me tell you something. God has a funny way of teaching you that lesson in this life.
Yeah.
So be careful when you say things like that and you judge other people. You're going to get your karma in a different way. I genuinely believe that.
So now, as you're going through this process, what have you learned about yourself?
A lot. I learned that I have. Honestly, I never realized the amount of strength that I have. So I really didn't think I could pull myself out of the darkness that I've been in throughout this. And at the end of the day, you do only have yourself. Of course, I have people who support me, my parents, my family, but I'm looking around and it's just me. I'm the only one who could get me out of this, me. So I've learned that strength is survival.
I love that.
Yeah.
Were there some things like you had to unlearn or change your POV about love, about what relationships are?
I'm still figuring that out, but I would say, not everybody could love you the way that you love everybody. Like, don't expect someone to love you with their entire soul the way that you would love them with your entire soul, right? Like, I thought I was so naive because I thought, no, he's the father of my kids. He would never do this to me. He would never want me out of the house. He would never, you know what I mean? Like all these things but no, honey, don't be so naive. Just because you love someone at the extent that your soul loves that person doesn't mean that they are going to reciprocate. So I would now I need to unlearn the fact that, not everybody's like that. Right. But also that I haven't lost hope, like I feel like love is such a strong emotion and such a beautiful thing that I would never give up on it.
So inshallah, one day you look forward to like getting remarried.
I wouldn't say remarried. I would just say in love.
Okay.
Because marriage is a whole different thing in my perspective now. I think marriage is, unfortunately, I don't want to say never because that's being naive, right? But marriage seems to be something different from what I thought it would be. It's not, it's more of how much can you give and how much can I take? It's not a two-way street. A lot of the marriages that I'm seeing now are not a two-way street. It's just one side who's doing everything. Yeah. So a
relationship is like a bank account. You got to keep it balanced by making deposits and withdrawals.
I would have hope in being absolutely in love with someone one day, but I wouldn't say marriage.
Okay. Listen, Allah, only Allah knows.
You never know. Yeah.
You never know. How has your definition of strength changed? Like, have you surprised yourself?
Yes, I've surprised myself. I see the word strength as survival.
Okay.
So strength is survival for me, because when people tell me, gosh, you've been so strong and you're so strong, like mashallah, you're so strong and don't worry, just be strong. It's like, guys, what other option do I have? Like I have two beautiful children who need me in this world. Like,
how old are your kids?
I have to be strong. My daughter is 10 and my son is 6.
Oh, subhanallah.
Yeah.
Wait, your daughter's 10? Mm-hmm. Wow, so she just turned 10.
She's a honeymoon baby, so she's as old as our marriage.
I was like, the timeline, hold up.
Yeah.
8 years and she's 10.
She was a honeymoon baby, so she's as old as we have been married.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
All right, so if an Arab woman is watching this right now, while married, uncomfortable, financially dependent, what do you want her to hear?
I would want her to hear that if your gut is telling you that you might be in this situation one day, follow your gut. Okay. And it is not too late. Be smart. Be smart. Don't sit there and like flip a table, Yeah. Be very smart and be strategic. Save every single penny you could save. Make any penny that you could possibly make. I wouldn't take it out on my spouse because he's never going to change. So maybe just ride it out until you're ready financially. Right. And now I feel so bad because I understand why so many people stay in marriages. This is like the hardest thing you could possibly go through.
But what other options? You're going to go out there and then do what? You can't pay rent. You can't
pay rent. And of course you're going to stay in the marriage. It's more convenient. But plan. If you trust your gut. Trust your gut. Your gut is telling you something, and there's a reason behind it. Right. And don't suffer. And the biggest thing I would like them to hear is, don't say I stayed for the kids.
Oh,
I
yeah.
left for the kids.
I love that.
I want my daughter to see me happy and not
Right.
think that this is a normal thing. I want my daughter or my son to see their father happy.
Yeah.
Like, say he's the miserable one that was miserable. They deserve to see each parent happy, even if it means that they're not together. They shouldn't think that, oh, this is the way it is. Like, they're together, but they're miserable and they hate each other. No.
Yeah,
Leave
no,
for the
absolutely.
kids, not because
we are
you know,
modeling the relationship for them, right?
Yeah, we are.
They're definitely picking up on information from us. So a silly question has popped into my mind right now. You know how obviously in Islam, the man is financially responsible for everything. Our money is our money.
Yeah.
Their money is the house's money. Now, you mentioned earlier, like, you didn't know how much he made. Like, do you think that's part of the problem why men may not feel obligated to share how much money they make because they're essentially just responsible for the household? They don't really need to tell you?
yeah.
If that makes any sense? You get what I'm saying?
It makes a lot of sense, but it also, I think it depends on the male ego. It depends on their security level. Like, if you're so, I mean, one of my brother-in-laws told me, like, your sister knows every single penny that comes into this house. She's the one who makes all the deposits. She, like, when they first heard about our problems.
Like, even though he's taking care of everything.
Yeah.
I like that.
She makes her money, he makes his money, but his money takes care of the house. Right. That's the traditional sense. That's the way it goes. But even my parents modeled it for me too. That's why this was so new to me and I didn't catch the red flags, because my dad gave my mom the money to go deposit in the bank. Okay. So there's like this level of trust, and I don't know, like, she carried the house, but he also carried the house in a different way. He with the income and like taking care of all the finances, but she also carried the house on her back. He saw that. So you're each giving something, you know? Yeah. So like, he trusted her with that money. He didn't with me. No way. He didn't.
Well, what's your take on, let's say, if we were to kind of change this norm of, like, the man has to take care of everything? I'm sure it's for men too. It's probably very difficult for them, right?
It's difficult for them because it's also don't be hypocritical as a woman and say you want the man to take care of everything, but then you want to sit and cross your legs and do nothing. Like, you should also give in something too. Like, people keep assuming I'm this feminist who doesn't want to be taken care of. Absolutely not. I would like a man to lead. I would like a man to provide for me, but don't, it's like that fine line. It's like, you expect it from me, and then you criticized me, and then I never felt like it was good enough. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to go the other way. You know what I mean? But
it makes sense.
I still cleaned and I still cooked and I still did everything as a wife should, but then it just wasn't met with.
Should we though? I mean, I feel like that's cultural. I don't feel like.
Oh, should we cook and clean and stuff?
Like, my job is to raise my kids. I feel like that's my number one. But listen, I could be wrong again.
No, because you're. I mean,
but I don't know where Allah said, like, your wife cooks and cleans.
I guess that's cultural. Yeah, that's true.
Like, biddak, all that, get her a maid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really want all that. That's so important to you. I don't know. This is
I agree. Get help. Because we're not back home where there's a village and where we had so many people many hands.
Hanging out with the gang and we're like. Doing mahshi or something.
Yeah, like, no, we're doing everything on our own here. It's literally. Mm-hmm. Like, I was living with my in-laws and I still was doing everything on my own when it came to my little family, you know? And that's not to say that there was the responsibility, but it still felt like it was still difficult. No. So at this point, I would actually just, there's too many things that have bled over and there's no distinguished difference, I think. And it's like, that's what makes it hard coming here and being Americanized, while everybody else is just like, oh, but they're picking and choosing what they want from the culture, which is also so hypocritical. It's like, you're picking and choosing.
But at the same time, even people from back home, they have, like, obviously I love back home, but there are some things that are learned incorrectly. Like, there are some things, and I think as a community, we need to recognize that. That's why I had said in the beginning, I'm proud that I'm here, because I feel like we can empower women back there to start making some real changes. Because imagine if we're going through a divorce, but our country is over there. Like, we're beat. Like,
oh my gosh.
Because the laws aren't in our favor.
I would have been,
Like, we'd probably be on the street with our kids, like, maybe asking for money. Because
I probably no, because over there you do have to stay in the home. There are things that the mom stays in the home. There are certain things, but like I said,
the probability of it probably increases if you're overseas because it's so male dominated. Because here the laws actually, and actually the laws here, I always heard that they're for women. But I also learned like the alimony, there's a percentage that not everyone's getting alimony. Like if you make your own money, you essentially may not get as much alimony.
Yeah, we're still going through the process, so I don't really know. But I don't know how that's going to look for me. But no, you're right. You're right in that sense.
What I'm saying is back home,
it would be worse.
A guy could screw us much worse than they can screw us here.
They could sit there and get remarried and have a whole nother family. And you just have to sit there and be like, what do we do now?
Don't sleep on that, girl. Some people are doing it here. Let me tell you.
A lot of people are doing it here.
Yep.
They're picking and choosing what they want.
Exactly, and then they use this religion. Well, it's allowed, but they're only on paper in America allowed to have one. But Islamically, they'll go marry others.
Right, but they're wrong because Islamically, if you are following the religion, you have to treat both equally, give both exactly what you're giving each other. Your first wife has to be aware of your second wife. You can't just, by the way, I'm bringing home a second wife. Like they're picking and choosing.
By the way, I just interviewed, actually we were scheduled to interview. We started and we have to redo it because the reception wasn't good.
Oh no.
But I'm interviewing this Ukrainian woman who's the second wife to this Egyptian man.
Oh my God.
And she like loves it. So even though, like, listen, I would never.
I know. I said I would never too, but now after experiencing it, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe
it
I
might
should
not actually
just
be that bad. But let's say
religion.
if I God forbid were to get divorced again, I would have a hard time getting remarried because now I have 2 kids. I got to think about my kids, and I feel like to protect their safety because you never know. Like, listen, at the end of the day, you never really people, but you never know people, and sometimes people are opportunists. So if an opportunity presents itself, so God forbid anybody comes like Arbana binti, Arbana ibni, one I would like literally I would lose my head, or I would call my ex-husband, be like, you better come because it's happened. But nevertheless, inshallah never happens. But
inshallah it doesn't.
I would struggle with bringing another man around my kids.
I agree, and that's a part of the reason why I also don't see myself ever remarrying.
Right, and this is where I think potentially maybe being a second wife or a third wife, where you don't have to see them all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you probably could see them and arrange a schedule where they're like with their father.
No, but the thing is,
you don't think that might work?
But no, because I just have too much self-respect. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're sharing me? Like, no, and sharing my time. Like, I see myself a little bit more.
But listen, I'm with you. I would never allow it. And
I know.
I'm telling you, I'm saying this.
Financially, I would.
I'm trying to think about it logically. There's finances. You're getting
those
paid.
women are the smartest women,
and you see them part time.
They are the smartest women. They know what they're doing. I may not like it. I may not agree to it. I may not actually do it. But wallahi, they actually are smart because they're just like, I don't have to deal with him.
Have you seen the women in Dubai and like the Khalijis?
Chilling,
and they're like little
going shopping. They have to make an appointment to see their husband. Okay, they figured it out.
So I feel like part time may not be that bad.
I know.
So, and we can arrange it where you're with me and I'm with you. I'm not around my kids.
I guess the only thing where I don't like I said, I have too many emotions. I believe in love. I believe in someone who gives me time and attention.
Well, we're raised on a Disney fairy tale, so for us, it's not going to make sense.
And I forever will be.
I do want to say for the record, I am definitely like against this notion. I would never be someone's second wife. I would never be someone's third wife, fourth wife. It will never happen.
Well, they know that about me anyway.
It will never happen. But logically speaking, I feel like in some scenarios, I can see where potentially a woman may agree.
I would say that honestly, they figured it out.
Right.
They know that financial security outweighs a lot of the other things.
Right.
So for them, I guess it's like, it's okay.
So now, what does rebuilding look like for you now, emotionally, culturally, financially?
Okay. So financially rebuilding, obviously I'm working my job. I see it's like a huge horizon that has opened up for me because like I see so many opportunities, and I wouldn't have been able to find that potential if I didn't go through this divorce and find myself right at the end of it. So financially, I want to build like my own empire for my daughter one day, inshallah. And I say my daughter, and I don't mean to be sexist, but culturally, my son is going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
My son will be okay. He's has his father's name. You know what I mean? But that's why I look at it in that way. So financially, also I'm like working and training a second job. I'm like a wedding
Yeah,
coordinator.
you started your own business, right? Tell me more about that.
I what?
Didn't you start your own business, or you're doing event planning or something?
I'm working as a wedding coordinator now.
Oh, okay, wedding coordinator.
So I'm still in training, and I'm gonna be a planner, wedding coordinator. So like I was like, I'll do something on the weeks that I don't have the kids. Why not? You know, like
Yeah, that's great.
like it's
Absolutely.
like the opportunities are endless at this point. I'm an advisor right now, so but like in the future, I hope to obtain my certification for counseling and then also do that.
Inshallah.
So the horizon is endless for me. That's financially, inshallah, I'll rebuild my life as I plan to. Emotionally, I have a lot of work to do, a lot of healing. I still think I'm like still stuck in the middle of this, and I do resort to my TikToks as like my therapy. Yeah. So I like to make TikToks, but I want to build emotionally. But I am stronger. Like emotionally, I am stronger. I could handle a lot more than I could ever thought I could. And what was the other one? Culturally?
Yeah, it's culturally, financially, emotionally.
Culturally, like I said, I am distinguishing between culture and religion. So I'm glad to be learning the difference, because I'm going to nitpick what I want out of the culture, because I'm not going to sit here and like follow through with all these things that I don't think should be continued.
Absolutely.
Like a 2,000 person wedding. Like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. No, but even honestly, like, you know, and I had a really like nice wedding, alhamdulillah, my second marriage. But ultimately now I don't even care about these things. Yeah. Like I so don't care about the big ring. I don't care about the bags. I don't care. Like I never did. Yeah. I've grown so much from like when I've gotten married. Yeah. I just don't care. Yeah. Like, I even told my husband, I'm like, listen, if you ever want to move us into like a 1-bedroom apartment, like, well, I'll make it work. Like, I don't care. Yeah. Like, I so don't care about these like bigger house, bigger cars. I don't
care about
like,
experiences.
Why? Right? I'm like, I'd rather us travel. I'd rather like take my daughter to museum and my son to museums. I want to take them to different countries and have them learn that way. Because at the end, that's what really matters. Like these things that we think matter don't really matter.
They don't. The materialistic things don't matter. You're not going to bring that to the grave with you.
Now, when you're doing this training for the wedding coordinator, where is it?
It's with the Legacy Bride Events. It's basically just...
Wait, the Legacy Castle?
The Legacy... No, that's the...
venue.
That's a venue. No, this is just...
So they're different.
They're different, yeah. He's the owner of it. He actually found me through my TikToks. And I told him once, I was like, you know what? The best part about my wedding was planning it. Like, I loved it. Like, it was the best thing. Like, so he was like, why don't you come... train under, one of my girls, Alia, she's amazing. Shout out to her. And you could start doing this. And I'm still in training, but it's so much fun. So like I did make a whole nother TikTok for that. So like a whole nother page for my brides.
I love that. Okay, that's awesome.
I do mainly Egyptian weddings. Oh my God, they're so fun.
Get that, yay.
They're so fun. I love Egyptians and their weddings.
Shout out to Egyptians, man.
Shout out to Egyptians and your music top tier.
Well, they're like the king and queens of media. I mean, they own the media. That's why the majority of the Arab world, by the way, I feel like speaks the Egyptian dialect because of the musalsalat.
I love the Egyptian dialect.
And now it's like the Syrian, it's like the Turkish musalsalat that have been dubbed in Syrian dialect.
Yeah.
That's what my parents used to watch. Oh. Yeah, which is, by the way, a whole other topic. I feel like I've referenced this in a couple of episodes because Ramadan's around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like something we do wrong that's culturally is... As we're going to Ramadan, it's like, what musalsalat are coming up?
Yeah, I know.
What's the musalsal?
What do you mean? Like, go to Tarawih.
I'm like, well, no, I just feel like this is your opportunity to reconnect.
Yes, spiritual.
Why are we thinking about musalsalat? Yeah. We shouldn't be. And why are we thinking about like all this abundance of food? Is gluttony. Yeah. But that's just me. But you see, this is where I'm a little like religion comes in, because I look at that. I'm like, well, dude, what are you guys are doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. But the real religious people, quote unquote, are overweight, are coming into the masjid, burping garlic up because they've...
That's true.
I'm telling you, like, this is a part of Islam. Yeah. Like, we're not supposed to be doing these things, but like people do it. And that's
sleeping all day just so you can eat the full course
manipulating the things. Like, I'll stay up all night. I'll sleep all day. That's like the Middle Eastern world, I guess. But in all fairness, it's super hot over there. Like,
in all fairness.
All right, Amal, we've reached the part where it's the yellow let's pop moment. Now, you have to forgive me. I have no soda to give you.
Oh, that's okay.
Usually we pop a soda and then we drink soda.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to watch my physique, so I got water here.
And I got my water.
You can get your water.
Okay.
So it's a rapid round of questions to get to know a little more about your personality. Don't overthink it. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Mm-hmm. All right, so do you like shawarma or falafel?
Crispy falafel from Falafel House, New Jersey, Wayne, New Jersey. Shout
Oh,
out.
okay. I like that. I like that plug. Wait, tell me,
Crispy
where's this
falafel
place?
sandwich. It's in Wayne.
It's called what?
The Falafel House.
Oh, the falafel. Okay, shout out to the
So
falafel
good.
house.
Thank me
Okay.
later.
All right. We're going to check it out. And it's close to me, so I'm definitely going to stop by to pick up
Yes.
a falafel. All right. So are you Haifa Wahhabi, bad girl, or are you Nancy Ajram, good girl?
Haifa
By the way,
Wahhabi-
you know they pinpoint, like they ping these girls against you. Like if you're
I didn't know that.
If you're Haifa, you're like a kind of bad, naughty girl. But if you're Nancy Ajram, you're a good girl. But I think it's reversed. Like I actually think Haifa Wahhabi is really the good girl. And I think Nancy Ajram presents like she's innocent.
That's funny.
But I think she's
I was
not
going to
innocent.
say Haifa Wahhabi on the inside, Nancy Ajram on the outside.
All right, listen, fair enough. All right, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yes, I'm a coffee girl, so I love coffee. Do you like
Latte.
Arabic coffee, by the way?
Not straight. My mom used to make it with milk. She would put like a spoon of
Oh,
Arabic
okay.
coffee with milk and like
Nice,
sugar.
okay.
It was so good.
And I feel like I went to what is it, the El Basha, the one on Crooks Ave.
Love it, Basha.
And I tried it there and I liked it, but typically I don't gravitate towards like the Arabic.
Straight
Turkish,
Arabic,
like straight. It's
it's
just
too
too much for me. I,
much.
can't-
No,
I know
it's
how to
too
make it though. I used to practice a lot.
No.
But when we were kids, they're like, "Tuli al matbakh wa amlina qahwa." I'm like, okay.
The more froth it has, the better, right?
Yeah. They're like, make sure on the wish. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do I add the sugar now? Do I add the sugar later? I
That's
don't know.
so funny.
Yeah. Do you like to read or to write?
I like to write
Okay. Do you prefer early mornings or late nights?
late nights.
All right. This one we already know. Do you like staying silent or speaking up?
I gotta speak up. But funny fact, I was always the shy, quiet girl like all my life.
Oh,
Like,
really?
It's so
Okay.
funny. My mom was like, "Miss Ma'nash minich all your life هالكيت we can't get you to shut up."
وهلا بديتي تحكي؟
Yes. I'm like, sorry, mom. Maybe it's because I'm the middle child. I don't know.
Well, you know, by the way, I don't think I mentioned to you in the beginning, the middle child, because the middle child is always the one, or they say they're balanced, right? But the oldest child is always the one who maintains the tradition that they're taught of the family.
Yeah.
The middle and the youngest child are always the ones who have a higher probability of rebelling.
Oh, well, that's
So
accurate.
That's always interesting.
That's
And the
accurate.
reason that is, there's a book actually. You guys should pick it up. The book is called Born to Rebel. And there's this theory out there that says because the first child got all the love from the parents, that the middle and the youngest child have to think of creative ways. And what they did was they studied like everyone in history who started a rebellion or started a protest of some sort. And it's always the middle or the youngest child of the family. It's never the first child.
Okay, well,
So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I
makes a
don't
lot
know.
of sense. Fits with
All
me.
right, so I have 4 finish the sentence.
Okay.
So if I could go back, I would tell myself.
If I could go back, I would tell myself, trust your gut.
Okay, love it. Arab women deserve.
Freedom.
Love that. Financial independence is.
Freedom.
Okay, freedom. This season of my life is teaching me.
How to survive.
I love it. Yay.
Yay, that was fun.
Guys, really quickly. Well, I know we're clapping and all, but before, tell people where they can follow you so they can follow your journey and
Oh my God.
link with you on TikTok.
Yes, follow me on TikTok. What is my TikTok name?
Oh, what is your TikTok name?
Is it Amali?
I love that. What is my TikTok name? It's
What
so
the heck?
important. Tell
Okay.
me.
Oh yes, it's at Amali. My TikTok name is at Amali.
Is it 2 L's, 3 L's?
2 L's. So at AMALLY. Follow me there. And also my new wedding coordinating page. So it's at Amule. So
I love it. I love it. Yes. So I'm going to link it here for everybody. All right, guys. That's all the time we have for today. Remember, when you're considering marriage, do the right thing, do a values check. And in the end, don't approach things as I'm going to win and this person's going to lose, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We need to approach things as a win-win. This person deserves to win and this person deserves to win. And I leave you on that note. Until next time. Bye.
bye.
Woo!